La Yashral, La Yasharalu. Go ahead and open the floor. More of it. All right, with that, a module, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. The Panya Hapadam, which means to face the east. Now we're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in the ancient Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Tagad, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Sabbath, Rakazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barakaza, Kawah, Hayah, Bashamayim, Bakalano, Bakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalakano, Kabawatno, Kasalakno, Kabawatino, Wala, Kabiayano, Panasaya one, Abal, Awashayano, Hayat, Rai, Hayat, Waka, Amalakwa, Wala, Watapara, Lagulamia. Come on. Not in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debt. We forgive our debt to us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. All right, next up, we got the power prayer. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Bakalano, Akak, Larapa'ah, Kamakala, Kakalmanawa, Akak, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Akak, Lahakuyim, Hamakim, Akak, Al-Rakawa, Hatama'ala, Garashan, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, the water. Come on. Now in the English, what we said was Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. Now we got the blessing prayer. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wama Yaka Allah. Wa Allah Hayam. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawak Yahana. Ha Alawakiam. Hasaranyam. Hakatazayanyam. Haka Yadelium. Waha Akwatiam. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, the water, Amar. Now in English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angel, from any General Yohana, the general, the captain, the officer, the trooper, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Now we got Psalm chapter 121. Asha,
Aisha,
Ayanya,
Ayani,
Al-Haharium,
Al-Hafari,
Ma'ayan,
Yoni,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Izaria,
Isari,
Azaria,
Isari,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ai,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayim,
Shamayim,
Wa'aratiza,
Wa'aratiza,
Al-Yathan,
Al-Yatani,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regalka,
Regalka,
Al-Yanawam,
Al-Yawam,
Shabarka,
Tabar,
Hadah,
Anan,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yawam,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yayashan,
Yasun,
Shawamar,
Shalomar,
Yasharala,
Nasrallah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Zadalka,
Zalka,
Aliyah,
Aliyah,
Yamilka,
Lamika,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashimash,
Hashemash,
La'a,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakata,
Wayara,
Mayarat,
Balayala,
Ayalayat,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Hashemar,
Makal Rai,
Makarat,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Akmapashka,
Alpapash,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Hazaka,
Tasa'at,
Wabawaka,
Wapam, Wapam,
Mayata,
Mayata,
Wa'ai,
I
Iwalam,
will
Psalm 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer that foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasharallah
he that keepeth thy surroundings
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this on forward,
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
All right. Now we're going to do Psalm chapter 83. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Dari Al-Atar,
Al-Safarat,
Al-Farash,
Al-Sashafat,
Al-Tashkar,
Al-Yahana,
Al-Yahna,
Al-Yabyaka,
Al-Bujabista,
Yahamayawan,
Yahamayalam,
La'ash,
Ya'ash,
Al-Aimaka,
Al-Aimika,
Ya'arayamwa,
Ya'arayamu,
Sawadat,
Sabadah,
Wayatha,
Wayakar,
Ya'aitazawak,
Ya'aitazawar,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Al-Tashkuwanika,
Amarawa,
Amarawa,
Wakawa,
Makawa,
1 o'clock Yadam,
Al-Tashkam,
Magalia,
Natalia,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazkar,
Sham Yasharala,
Tanya Sharam,
Iwadat,
Avadah,
Hayat,
Tanyan,
Nawai Tazawak,
Namaitazwa,
Labah,
Laban,
Yakadwa,
Yakani,
Ayaka,
Ayuka,
Baryat,
Bara,
Yakaraswa,
Akawatwa,
Ahalia,
Ahami,
Alawam,
Arawan,
Wayashamayaliam,
Yashimali,
Mawaba,
Mawab,
Wahagariam,
Wabari,
Jabal,
Babal,
Waimawan,
Wa'ami,
Waimawan,
Wa'aimawan,
Waimala,
Wa'aimala,
Halashat,
Parashat,
Anyashabia,
Amishabi,
Hazawar,
Kazawar,
Gamashawar,
Ramashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Ayamam,
Hayawa,
Hayabat,
Zarawai,
Zarawan,
Labanyalawat,
Labani Labat,
Salah,
Kuma,
Aishalaham,
Ashalam,
Hamadian,
Kamadi,
Kasaya Sarah,
Kazayas, Sarah,
Hayabian,
Kayabi,
Barakah,
Barakon,
Payashwan,
Koyashim,
Nashamalwa,
National,
Bahayanda Ara,
Bahayana,
Hayawa,
Aywa,
Laman,
Saman,
La'adama,
Araman,
Sayathamwa,
Sayataman,
Nadaya Mawa,
Nadanya Mawa,
Hairab,
Kaira,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakats Awa,
Wakaza Bat,
Wakats Bat,
Wakaza Zamanai,
Wakats Nine,
Halasai Kamwa,
Kalasai, Kamas,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarawa,
Amarawa,
Naira Shah,
Nari Shah,
Lanawa,
Narawa,
Na'awat, Na'awat,
Na'awat,
Alahayim,
Alahani,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Sayathamwa,
Sayatamu,
Nagaldula,
Kavaldra,
Taquat,
Kapash,
Lafaya Rawaha,
Lafayan, Yalaka,
Ta'at,
Ta'at,
Tabaira,
Tabaira,
Yaira,
Yaira,
Wakala Haba,
Ukala Haba,
Salahat,
Alahat,
Harayam,
Harayam,
Tantaradakma,
Tantan,
Basa Iraka,
as the Irika,
Wabasa Wapasta,
Wahasagis,
Wapasta,
Passport,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'a,
Malahab,
Hanyaham,
Panyaham,
Palawan,
Panaman,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wazam, Passport,
Waya Kaparwa,
Waya Kaparwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya the Aiwa,
Waya Aiwa,
Haya Asab,
Haya Asab,
Shunka,
Shunka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labaka,
Al Yawan,
Al Yawan,
Al Kohat,
Al
Aratazah.
Aratazah.
All right. Psalm chapter 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence,
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still,
and be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
Alone,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a tumble,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They are taking crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy enemy.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation.
The name Yasharallah
Of the name Joshua,
may be no more in remembrance.
may be the one in remembrance.
But they have consulted together
But they have consulted
with
together
one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal
Baal,
and Ammon
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
I sure have also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They are hoping the children of God
So
to not
do unto them
to do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as the Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as the Thing,
as the brook of Kaisan,
as the book of Son,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
It became a dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make the noble
like Oreb
like a red,
and like Zeid,
and like the east.
yea,
Hey,
all their princes as the Ba
all the princes of the Bible,
and as Dalmunna,
and now some moon,
who said,
they said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh and possession.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like the wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as stubble before the wind,
as the fire burns a wood,
as the fire burns the wood,
and as the flames set the mountains on fire.
and as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy temple,
with thy temple,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name,
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh,
Let them be confounded
let them be confounded,
and troubled forever.
trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that they may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is the house,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
All right, with that, Sar, we'll turn face to front. That was Shabia, which means sit. Shalom Israel, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatah. This is again the Isupk. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York in 1969 under commanding General Yohana. We're here to teach the truth of the Bible for so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, their real culture and heritage according to the scriptures. Today, with the Sabbath service, right? Sundown, you understand? The beginning of the seventh day is the Sabbath service, a day of rest, all right, where priests are going to do their priestly duties and Israel can have their rest. You understand? What we do here and during the Sabbath service, we go into the Old Testament and we read the ancient Hebrew, and then we break down the stories of the Bible. What we've been doing over the past couple of weeks, we've been getting into some heavy chapters about what's going on right now with Joseph and what's going on right now with him and his brothers, who would eventually be what consists of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So we're right into the meat of the story. We left off at a heck of a cliffhanger, did we not? Let me see where we were at. We left off. We finished Genesis chapter 44 all the way up to verse 28. So we're going to go to Genesis chapter 44, and we're going to start at verse 29. Okay? Because again, what we're doing is we're basically taking our heritage back, and we're gonna read the scriptures in the Hebrew. We're gonna show you how Israel rocks it here in this day. You understand? Let me see. Well, go ahead and get that right now, and we'll see what's going on with it. Genesis 44.
Genesis 44.
Start verse 29. Go ahead and get started. I'm going to show the class too.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 44 and verse 1. Wajishawa, Athar, Ashra, Ilah, Batawar, Lamar, Mala'ah, Haftar, Haftar. No. Haftar. Bakatan. Hussein. Ka. Shar. Iwa. Kala. Mayam. Sha'at. Wayashumi. Taspa. Ayesha. Aisha. Batwa. Aha. Patatwa. Verse 2. On the cross. On the cross. Yeah, ayah. Va. Ayah. Kaspa. Shine. Yeah. After. Wa. Afal. Kazak. Shah. Wa. Aisha. Karbar. Hausa. Shar. Karbar. 3. Abakar.
What was that? No, Genesis 44 verse. It was in verse 29. It's no sweat, don't sweat. How many verses are in that chapter? It goes up to 34.
4, 5, 6, 6.
Just read up to verse 34 then.
It's not this, so I'm a virgin.
No, we're in Genesis chapter 44. We're starting at verse 29. All right. Picking up where we left off last week. Go ahead.
Verse 29. Voilà. Voilà quoi. Upon. Gum. Ba. Za. Nine. Hamya. Wa. Wa. Salam. Wafa. Wafa. Ya. Dazam. Da. Sabbatai. 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 Verse 30. Wa. Sabbatai. How? I the cross. Sabbatai. Wafa. Iron. Hamya. Idea. And walk. Yes. Yes. I walk. From the walk. You're not the walk.
So, are you where it says sense of life?
Yeah.
It's
The not
from the posture.
and posture.
Mhm.
And show. Walk. The cross. Those things.
Pretty much.
On the posture.
Mhm.
On the posture. Verse 31. Why? Idea. Why? 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 Idea. Why? Now, rock
And higher.
and iron.
Mm.
Lamont.
Lamont.
Lamont. What? 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 Young.
Yadwa.
Yadva.
Mhm.
I. God.
And bar. Oh, no, Ibadah.
Ibadak.
It's like a Ibadah.
Ibadia.
Mhm.
God. Chapat.
From the bar.
Karabat. Abadista.
Mhm.
Asta. Ya. Nabat.
Mhm.
The young. Yakawan. Shah. Shalapat. 32. Kaya. Adaka.
Mhm.
Irab. Love. Panagara. Panagara.
Mhm.
Nang. Abba. La Omar, Maya, La A, A, Abba, again, Anuba, Alaka, Waka, Taka, Laba, Ka, Hayayon, Hayayon, verse 33. I, Ka, Shub,
Well, that's good.
Na, Na,
Nah.
Naha, I Barqua, Sakada, an iron, an iron. I bat, rather than what?
Nah, Daniel.
Daniel. Waka, Waka, and I rest. You get I, I am.
Okay, well.
Akira. Aku. Kaya. Kaay. Ailuhan. A. Kaya. Bukan. Airo. Agia. Nanawa. Apiga. Kawa.
Fine.
Alaka. Ai. Shar. Lima. Tiza. Da. Apiga.
That's right. Go ahead and get it in English. Again, it was Genesis chapter 44, start at verse 29. 29. So again, what's going on right now is Joseph is confronting his brothers about the cup that he planted in Benjamin's possession when they left the land of Egypt, right? It was part of his plan. He probably wanted to spend more time with his brother and keep his brother there with him. But as the brothers are explaining, well, let's see what they say. Go ahead.
29. Right?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Genesis 44, 20, 29. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 44, verse 29. Ask if you take this also from me, and mischief befall him, ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave.
Now they're quoting what Jacob or Israel, at this point his name had changed to Israel by an angel, what he was telling his sons about having to send Benjamin on this trip because it was a requirement for them to bring Benjamin on this trip in order to present themselves in front of Joseph. You see, for those of you that are just tuning in, there was a famine in the land of Egypt, which Joseph had the foresight to prepare for. And that's why he has the power that he has as the treasurer, basically, of the Pharaoh, right? And so he has all these goods and trade deals and things going on. And it turns out that his very same brothers that I'm assuming it's years, right? Years before had sold him into slavery because they didn't like him. You talking about big brother bullying? That's like the worst thing you can imagine. You know what I'm saying? Aside from it, straight up killing him. But in this conversation, the brothers were explaining on how they had told their father about how Joseph had died. They said that he had been torn to pieces by an animal and they presented him with the cloth. So as far as those brothers are concerned, they lied about what happened to Joseph and they never knew what happened to him. This whole story is ironic because they're talking to their brother that they sold into slavery, but they don't know that that's who he is. So he's kind of messing with them, right? And in doing so, while he's messing with them, he's telling them what to do in these certain cases. He's also being brotherly to them, right? Had dinner with them, let them chill. Everything was Oh, how long has it been like that? 10 minutes? All right, no. Go ahead. Go ahead and read.
Okay. I'll start out 30th again. Verse 30. Now therefore, when I come to thy servant, my father, and the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up with the lad's life. Verse 31. It shall come to pass when he seeth that the lad is not with us, that he will die. And thy servants shall bring down the gray hairs of thy servant, our father, with sorrow to the grave.
Go ahead.
Verse 32. For thy servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, if I bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever.
It's kind of like he's putting it all in Joseph's hands. It's like, your decision is going to affect me so much because I put it on my life that he's going to make it back home. And not just his life, his son's life. Remember? Joseph said, if I don't make it back, you could take my sons. My sons, you could kill them. This is a life or death situation that's going on right now with Israel and his sons. Because, again, drastic things happen in times of need, right? Drastic things happen in times of need because that's what happens when everything goes down south. Remember when there was no toilet paper on the shelves?
Yeah.
Something as simple as toilet paper had people going crazy. I'm sure there was a couple fights that broke out. How many fights break out when Jordans come out? How many fights break out when a PlayStation comes out? Like, I remember when the PlayStation 3 came out and somebody got shot over that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody literally got shot because of a piece of plastic and metal, and you know what I mean? Like, that's the world that we live in now. Now, imagine when it's something that they can't live and exist without, like food, like corn. Drastic measures are going to be taken. That's why Judah was like, listen, we got to go back to Egypt. But that dude back there that has all the corn that everybody needs, he said that if we don't go back without our brother, we're going to be liars, and he's not going to let us buy no corn, and we're going to be in trouble. Remember, because again, for those of you that tuning in, we've been on this chapter and chapters before where it's been building up for quite some time. But the craziest part about this, honestly, is that they don't know they're talking to their own brother. Joseph knows that those are his brothers. And so he's almost like playing tricks on him a little bit. But at the same time, things got very real with Joseph when he realized that his own dad was that worried about his brother. It was like a wake-up call to Joseph, because here he is playing leader of the house and all that. But you got people that are starving. You got people that are worried. You got people that don't have anything. And it is humbling to see that, because Joseph, if anybody, knows about being humbled and being put down low, being brought low and having to build his way back up. Just because he's in that position that he has doesn't mean that he can't show mercy when the time is right to do so. And this theme is what you see all throughout the scriptures, because the Most High does the same thing to Israel. That's why we're still alive right now, because of what Christ did. You know what I'm saying? Joseph, this is why this story is so important, because it shows a hint of what is capable amongst the sons of Jacob when they use wisdom, when they use long suffering, when they have mercy. Because those are the things that makes us who we're supposed to be. We're supposed to get to that point where we do this at the right time for the right people, so that we can all move forward together.
Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 33. Now, therefore, I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad, a bondman to my Lord, and let the lad go up with his brethren.
He took his place. He said, let me stay so that he can go back. Because there's all this back and forth going on, and he's basically like saying, look, let me take the blame. Let me take the bullet for it. I'll be a bondman to you, a slave to you. You know what I mean? But let him go back home so that his father is not worried. And this isn't to say that Jacob would be worried about Judah not making it back either, but Judah made a promise, and he's the kind of person that's going to follow through with what he said he was going to do. He said Benjamin was going to make it back home, and he's willing to give up his own life to make sure that his word is bond. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an honorable thing. You could say that's an honorable thing. That's something that Israel has always had within themselves. It's just so commonly do we find ourselves in situations where we try to have those types of virtues with the wrong type of environment surrounding us. Because you think you got brothers when you dealing drugs with them hoodlums that you was running around the hood with. But the Lord ain't with none of that. So of course if things are going to go wrong, somebody's going to get shot, somebody's going to end up in jail, beat up by the cops, you know what I mean? Rival gangs going to end up shooting you up, you going to end up shooting them up. All these petty things that surround our people in the communities that we grow up in, those things could be avoided if we just had a little bit of discretion amongst one another. If we actually took the time to listen to what this scripture is talking about and understand that quite commonly the theme that we see in the Bible is that our people should look out for one another. That's what Judah is doing. That's what Joseph has shown throughout the past couple of chapters. Now he's given the opportunity to do it again. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 30. Verse 33. Now wherefore I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad, a bondman to my Lord, and let the lad go up with his brethren.
Mm-hmm. Let the lad go up with his brethren, meaning verse 34.
Yeah. Verse 34. For how shall I go up to my father and the lad be not with me, lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what really the issue is. The issue is he's looking out for his father. All right. He's looking out for his father because he doesn't want his father to die. So what we'll do is we'll see what Joseph has to say about that. Let's do 7 more verses.
Okay.
We're not going to jump into chapter 45 and read the first 7 verses of chapter 45. And let's hear what Joseph's response is to that. We're going to read it in the Hebrew, in the original tongue, in the actual language that Joseph was saying it in when he spoke to his brothers. See, and that's the thing that you have to understand. When we're reading this Hebrew, this type of Hebrew, I'm not talking about the modern Hebrew, but the ancient Hebrew, when we're sounding out words and putting this all together, what you're hearing bit by bit, of course, because we're piecing it together, we're learning and growing and understanding the language. But this is how they actually spoke. They spoke just like how we're reading it, in the language and dialect that we're reading it in. So let's go ahead and get that. Genesis chapter 45, verse 1 through 7. We're going to go, what you want to do is, for those of you that may be new to what we do during the Sabbath service, there's an app you could download called the Bible Hub app. This app will allow you to follow along in the interlinear version that'll let you read it in Hebrew along with us.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 1. La'ah, Yakah, Isupk.
Yas, ya, what's up?
Y'all, what's up? Ooh, this one got big.
That's a good one right there.
I got it. Laha
Mm-hmm.
the ha pa
Wow.
qua. Laka.
Lahata apak.
Laha da apak.
Mm-hmm.
Laka. Ha natza shabayim. I la yawa. Alayawam. Wayakwa. No. Wayakwa Raka.
When did we mute the mic? I didn't even know. Because we did have it during the prayers.
No, go there. Wa ya tza Yahweh Ka Ayasha Mailwa no Mailaya Wala Ahmad Aisha Atwa Bahata Wa Da'ai. So, Jalsa Allah Akua. Verse 2. Wayatwa the Wa Kuya Wayasha Ma Iowa Matza Rayam Wa Yashai Yama Payata Para Verse 3. Wayamar Yausa Love Akinawa Anaya Yausa Iwat Abawa Abaya Haya Wala Yalakamwa Yalakuwa Akinawa La Ainawa Atwa Ya Nabalahawa Napanawayawa. Verse 4, Wayamar. Yeah, Yawasab, Al, Akim, Akium, Gaswa, Na, Alaya, Wayagoshwa, Wayamar, Anayam, Yawasab, Aka, Yukam, Kayakam, Akim, Akim. Oh, your brother, right? Ashar, Makurtam, Abdaya, Matza, Zarayam, Ziram, Way, Aitha, Al, the Aitza Shawa, Hawa, Shikar, Va, I, Ya, Kaya, Come, Kaya, Ka, Thumb, Wa, Nataya, Hanaha, Kaya, Maka Ayaha, Shalahak Kay, Yaai, Alaham, Lapunakayam, Kaya, Za, Sanatsaya, Yam, Raiba, Bakrara, Harai, Harai, Harasha, Harash, What Iwan, Ham, Masha, Shanayam, Shar, Iowa, no, yeah, Iowa, Hara, Nisha, Quatza, Mira, verse 7. Wayashala Hanaya, Alaham, Panakium, La Sham, Makam, Sha'awata, Ata, Ba'aratsa, Alahaka, Yavata, Nakam, Bapa Lata, Yataha. I don't know.
All right, go ahead and get that in English.
Okay.
So again, they just got through explaining about how close to death their father is, about their brother Benjamin not returning home. So Joseph, being the just man that he is, he just can't hold it back any longer. The situation. He has to make known what's really going on. Go ahead.
Okay. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 1. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried.
So he's like, he couldn't hold back the tears. He was like, oh, man. Like everything gets overwhelming, the amount of things that's going through his mind right now, because he cares about his father. He does. He hasn't seen him in so long. And the way his brothers depicted that they thought that he was dead. Their father, imagine if you knew that your father thinks that you're dead, but you're not, you're still here. You would want him to know that you're alive, right? You wouldn't want him to be living in doubt and, sorrow and all this kind of stuff. But Joseph also understood that the vision that he was given had purpose behind it because it was sent from the Most High. So he has to follow through with what he knows needs to be done. Go ahead and read. There's the questionnaire. I want you to read it in a second. Just check the chat. Go ahead. Now you good?
Yeah, we don't even.
Go ahead and read them.
Come. Verse 2.
No. Read verse 1 again.
Come. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, because every man
cause every man to go out for me.
Oh, my bad.
And to go out for me. So my apologies. It's not so much that he cried like tears. Cried meaning he said, everybody out except these men right here. This is a personal matter. This is a behind closed doors kind of conversation that needs to take place right now. So everybody get up out of here so we can talk. Go ahead.
Cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren.
It says what?
While Joseph made himself known unto his brethren.
This is the reveal right here. This is when Joseph admitted that he's their brother. This is the moment right here, the moment of truth. That's what they say, right? This is the big reveal. He says, give me verse 2. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 2. And he wept out loud.
There it is. So I know he wept, but it wasn't right there. It was here that he wept aloud. Go ahead.
And the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard.
I mean, because it's echoes, right? Echo chambers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about Egypt, right? Big walls, big buildings. Noise travels. You feel me? So Joseph just couldn't hold back his feelings here because he understood. It's like it all just started to make sense to him. But you're going to see what it is that's making sense to him right now, because the thing that he felt right now, it applies directly to you, Israel. It's like he didn't quite understand just how many people it was going to affect, but he understood that there was something important that he was shown that is now being brought to the surface. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Does my father yet live?
There it is. So that's him. He said to his brother, I am Joseph. How's dad doing? Is he alive? Go ahead.
Okay. And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence.
Because they were speechless to find out that this man that has been on top of things was the same man that they sold for basically nothing those years ago. This man who told his family of a vision that was sent to him, that they treated him wrong because he was the younger brother. He's not supposed to be the leader of his brothers. You think an older brother is gonna be okay with that type of talk? No. But it got to the point where it was so much animosity between them, they got rid of him. Then they told their father that he died from animals. Then turns out he has a brother from the same mom. I forget if Joseph was alive if Joseph was around to know that his mother died. I think he was. But the thing is that she's gone. And it's just him and his brother Benjamin that were from her, that are a part of this big family. This family, family matters are important. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes family, they fight, Right. You ever seen Steve Urkel? You ever seen when he do the Bruce Lee John? He start fighting everybody? You know what I'm saying? That. Like that kind of stuff be happening to our people. You know what I mean? But on a more serious note, this is how important this is in the history of our nation. Go ahead.
Okay. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Does my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence.
Let me paint a picture right here. Sometimes there are certain scenes that are just troubling to be around. You ever hear like a really bad argument happening? There's an uncomfortable feeling that comes from that.
Yeah.
You ever hear somebody crying uncontrollably? Mm-hmm. There's a discomfort that comes from that. You ever been in a room where a fight breaks out, tables get thrown and punches get thrown and screaming and yelling and cussing and all this stuff is going on? It's a very uncomfortable thing. The vibe in the room just changes and everything's just like, damn. There's certain types of people. There's people that just sit back and watch. There's people that jump straight in, But this is one of them situations where these brothers are like, what? They're still trying to figure out just how crazy this is. It's like, you're in charge of all this? You, the person that and then they find it. And then you got to understand this too. Because at this moment right here is where them brothers are realizing they actually caused the vision to actually come to pass. That's what they're feeling right now. They're feeling the gravity of their decisions, the consequence of their decisions. It just so happens that it's supposed to happen. It turns out that was supposed to happen so that, you know what? Just keep reading. I'll let Joseph tell you.
Okay.
Joseph's going to tell you what's on his mind and why he's feeling the way he feels. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 4. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. Mm-hmm. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt.
They didn't recognize him until now, where he finally revealed this to them. That's how you know this had to have been in at least 5-10 years? I don't even know the time frame. It was a long time. Go ahead.
But y'all know the secret in the world for so long, and then finally one day it catches up to you, and everybody ends up finding out the truth. And everything comes, and you're like, oh, you're gonna get that feeling of damn. Because you was holding the secret.
That's like what this is. That's exactly what this is. It's like that's the drama of our lives here on Earth. It's just weird how now they package it and repurpose it for entertainment purposes, because they take the stories of our lives and they put it on what they call it, novellas and soap operas and plays and movies and things like that, to the point where our people crave that drama.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like we crave, what's crazy? I never understood how women, they love them serial killer documentaries and things like that. All that negativity, right? that they just can't get enough of. They got to see that Saw 5, Saw 7. They got to see the Insidious and the Paranormal Activities and the Grudge and all that kind of stuff. They're all that drama. But when that kind of stuff happens to them in real life, they want all of it. They want everybody's attention. They want everybody's love. You know what I mean? And so what's going on right now is that these men, they don't know how to act because this is like a whole new world for them of regret and pain and like, how do I even say this? Like, imagine you were the older brother, right? And you had the little brother that you picked on. You even sold that little brother to slavery. Told your dad that he died, moved on with your life, had children, all that, right? And then all this happened with the famine, and now you got to answer to some king of Egypt, and then that turns out to be your brother. It's like a stab in the heart. It's like, I got you. But at the time where Joseph is supposed to be, like, because if you were the younger brother, there's a point in your time when you're going through this that you feel like you should have the last hurrah. But this isn't even a hurrah moment because he's worried about his father's life. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Okay. Verse 5. Now, therefore, be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves.
You see that he understands exactly what they're feeling. He said, don't be angry with yourselves because I know what you're feeling right now. The regret that you had from making me a slave. And I can imagine, like, if you really went into it, he would say, I was in debt to the assassin of the Pharaoh whose wife kept coming on to me, trying to holler at me, and I tried to do the right thing. I ended up in prison because of that. I was in prison for years. But because of the ability that the Lord gave me, I climbed my way out of that hell. And I ended up in a position where I could make a change in people's lives. And at the time where I'm able to make those changes, I'm not going to use it just for myself. That this is all happening. Like, you people always say, well, everything happens for a reason. This is him explaining kind of the same theme. That's why he's like, don't be mad at yourself. Go ahead.
Okay. That you sold me hither.
See, keep going.
For God did send me before you to preserve life.
God didn't send me before you to preserve life. See, Joseph has an excellent visionary right here because he's able to see the entire picture. Because the problem with the Black and Hispanic community is we zoom so far into what is going on in our lives and what pertains to us and what matters to us that we don't see everything that's going on. We don't see the grand scheme of things. The pain that you have to go through, the sacrifice that you have to make is not for you. And that's exactly what I was talking about Christ and the mystery of Christ. The baptism of Christ is that the truth is you're here to suffer so that other people can live. You're here to do these things, these acts that lead to life being preserved. And that's the most honorable life that you could possibly live. That's the most honorable thing that you could have ever done with your life. And Joseph, as much pain that he had to deal with, still came out on top and still had the humility to understand that he was a tool being used by the Most High for the end result being people getting to live. His seed getting to live. Go ahead. What you want to add to that?
So I can say. The other day I was talking to Officer Kabar and we had the conversation, but he told me that like when you have dreams and like they're like he basically told me just give the brothers a call and tell them your dreams because sometimes they mean something. You know what I mean? and they can decipher it for you, just like he did with his dreams. He didn't decipher it. He just told them the dream, and they was like, "Man, you crazy." You know?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that because that's what it reminded me of.
That's good because that's going to go right along with what I'm about to say. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 6. For these 2 years had the famine been in the land.
Right, because years have been passed before when they sold him, and then years have passed where the famine has been occurring. Go ahead.
Okay. And yet there are 5 years in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest.
Because Joseph already knows 2 years in, this is just the beginning. There's still 5 more years to go for this famine. Like, that's the kind of information that the Bible provides, is exact information of what comes next. You have to keep it cool and collected, knowing what's going to happen next. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 7. And God sent me before you to preserve you a prosperity in the earth.
No, a posterity in the earth. See that again?
Verse 7. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity.
There it is. Posterity in Hebrew is sha'ariyah, which means remainder or descendants. Read that again.
Okay.
Use the word descendants.
Instead of posterity?
Yeah.
Okay. And God sent me before you to preserve you a descendant
In the earth.
in the earth.
Now, do you understand the gravity of this situation? If Joseph didn't have the perseverance that he had in prison, if he didn't have the perseverance that he had when he was put in that ditch, if he didn't have the compassion and humility to care for his brothers after all those things have happened, you and I would not exist on this earth. The nation of Israel would not exist because those sons would have died during this time of famine. And that is the power of prophecy, of knowing these things, something to cling to that gets you through that phase of uncertainty and doubt. That's what separates us from every other nation out there, because one man did what one man did. Mind you, what Joseph did, if he hadn't done what he did, Christ wouldn't have ever even been born. Because remember, Judah was about to have his sons killed, and Christ came from the seed of Judah. Did he not? Do you see how important this story is on what decisions you make and how it affects the future? Because you don't understand that when there's a point in your life where you feel like you've hit the end of the road, or you need to feel like you need to give up, you don't understand what it affects later on. But Joseph understood that he was key to the building of a nation of people. That's why he said that. Read that again.
Okay. Verse 7. And God sent me before you to preserve you a what do you say?
Posterity.
Oh no, you told me something.
Deliverance. Oh no, descendants.
And God sent me before you to preserve you descendants,
or say lineage
in the earth.
That's it.
And to save your lives by great deliverance.
Everybody give a hand for Joseph. Because your heart beats today because he received this vision and then he held on to it. You know what I mean? He never knew what your name would be. He never knew about you and your family and all the things you've done. But he knows one thing. He knows that God sent him there to keep his lineage going. You're in this class right now to keep your lineage going, to keep hope within your people. If you don't have that, then what do you have? You have nothing. If you don't have your people, if you don't have your heritage. Because I'm going to tell you right now, things are pretty bad around the world, but guess what? They're going to get worse. And then these stories that we read about, you're going to really start to want to cling on to them because It's that type of spirit that's in this book that's going to keep you alive in these last days. So we'll end it on that. We'll pick up back on this next week. With that, Amajim. Do you have to wrap it up first or no?
Oh, yeah, you can do it.
All right, with that, Sar, which means to turn, Opanya Hakodam, which means to face the east. Now we're going to finish off with the Lord's Prayer in the ancient Hebrew. Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash,
Kodash,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakwaka,
Malaka,
Taba'at,
Tabaat,
Ratazaka,
Zaka,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Barataza,
Barataza,
Kuwa,
Kawa,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Bashamayim,
Shemaya,
Latalanoah,
Latalanoah,
Lacham,
Lakam,
Kal,
Kam,
Yawom,
Yawam,
Masalachanoah,
Salakana,
Kabawafnoah,
Kawawathana,
Kasalachnoah,
Salakana,
Kabawafinoah,
Kawawathana,
Wala'ah,
Bala,
Tabi'aynoah,
Yahayna,
Banasayawan,
Anasayawan,
Abo,
Abba,
Hawashayanoah,
Hoshayna,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Ra,
Hayah,
Kaya,
Lakah,
Laka,
Amalakwa,
Nawa,
Wahala,
Bala,
Waltapara,
Bala,
I will love you.
Amen.
Amen. In English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts
Forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
Thine is the
For
kingdom
thine is the kingdom
and the power
and the power
and the glory
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
And with that, Sar, and at this time, what we're going to do is we're going to salute the scroll. Go ahead and turn the camera. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakia.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakia.
All right, with that, now what we're going to do is go to Sar. We're going to turn and face the brothers for one courtesy salute. Sisters may have a seat. Individual, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Brakatham, Yagi Matah. Sar, we're going to turn and face the sisters for one courtesy salute. Sisters, you may stand. Individual, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Yagi Matah. Dismissed.